What's up, world? This is Will from Will Reptiles, and today I am here with Jeff Dickson. He is the owner of Platinum Morphs. He is a specialist in breeding ball pythons. So, Jeff, what got you into the hobby?
Well, the first snake that I acquired, believe it or not, was a ball python normal male. And when I first acquired this snake, I didn't realize that you could actually own these kinds of snakes. And it was kind of an eye-opener for me. I was really excited about it, to be honest. I only grew up, catching local snakes around Colorado, bull snakes, garter snakes, so I always would keep them at my house. I had a cool enough mom that she let me do it. But when I acquired my first ball python, I started doing more research into them, and I realized that there was different color and pattern mutations. So I then ventured out to get a blonde pastel, and that's where the madness came in full end. Okay. And I just started breeding like crazy, and it took me a few times to get it going. It's not always the easiest thing, especially when there's not a lot of information about it and whatnot. But here I am today, and I've got many snakes. I love it.
So how many ball pythons do you have in your collection so far right now?
Right now I'm sitting at about probably close to 70 or 80. It kind of fluctuates a little bit depending on hatchlings and whatnot, but I think come this fall I should have 40 to 50 breeders.
Okay.
And that's just how everything goes to plan. Not every snake will breed every year. Sometimes they need a year off, and it can take time to build up fat reserves. Yeah. So I'm hoping to have a good season this fall. This season's already turned out great. I've got quite a few clutches on the ground, more to come, and that's where I'm sitting at right now.
Okay, all right. So everyone probably wants to know, since you have 70 to 80 ball pythons so far, what do you have any major morphs that you're working on? Some of the stuff that I'm working on that I really like is the blonde pastel gene. I also have a few that are kind of hidden things that I'm working with. I've come to realize that line breeding is a really important thing when it comes to ball pythons. I think normal females are highly underrated in the hobby. I think that you can have certain traits that they carry along that other morphs may not have per se. So I'm at the point now where I want to try and produce the best quality of a certain morph. I want to bring out the best traits in them. Okay. So, since you have so many snakes, do you plan on getting a facility or anything?
At some point, if it's in the cards, I think it'll be well worth it. I'm at the point where I have enough room to work with at my house. Okay. So I think that right now it works good, and I have a lot of room to expand. It's nice, especially breaking out, becoming a new breeder, if that's something that people want to do. It's nice to have a nice basement. Usually the temperatures are nice and regulated, and you can kind of work with it using different things. It's good to... So there's different various tools that I can go into at different points to be able to regulate these temperatures and humidity and whatnot. Yeah. But at some point I would like to get a facility, but it's not really something that I need right now. Okay. And I'm starting to venture into doing carpet pythons and boas as well. Okay. I've got some breeders that create, some more well-known breeders that create some really nice stuff, and it's hard not to want to buy it once you see it. So
totally. Okay. So since you've been breeding for a while, have you come up with any first morphs?
As far as 2012 goes, I produced the world's first blonde Peter Lesser, and it's an exciting gene to work with. I think that the blonde pastel is doing some really interesting things in the morph. A lot of the other pictures I've seen of different pastel variations do something completely different. It tends to wash out the pattern, while the blonde pastel just makes it pop for some reason. And I think that the line of Lesser that I'm working with is also helping. It does more like a blushing of the back thing, instead of creating a dorsal line that goes down as far as pattern. So I like both of those lines incorporated into that gene, and I think it's doing a lot of really interesting things. There could be some more hidden things going on in there. I have yet to see. There's a few more breeding years that I need to get working with a couple things that I'm doing to see if what I actually think is happening is happening. And I know everybody hates the word dinker, and I'll just throw it out there, but we'll call them unique. Certain unique normals that I have are doing interesting things within the morph as well. Okay. Alright, so now I wanted to show you a few of the genes that I produce. Some of the stuff that I'm going to show I produced. There's one thing in here that I didn't produce, but I want to show off anyways. Okay. The first one I want to start with is a lesser cinnamon that I produced in 2012. Most of this stuff, except for one, is 2012, but this is a lesser cinnamon male that I produced, and he's interesting compared to a lot of the other lesser cinnamons that I've seen. He has this really interesting chain link pattern going on the side, and I kind of want to breed this out to see what's going on and see if I can replicate this more. Because as far as what I've seen so far out there, this is kind of a unique one, to say the least. But this is definitely a morph. It tends to get better with age. When it first hatches out, it doesn't look that phenomenal, but as it grows, it gets a lot better. But yeah, that's that guy. And the lesser mixed with other morphs has this trait where the tail kind of blotches out like that. That's something interesting to look for when you're looking at snakes and eggs or whatever if you don't know what you got. The next one that I want to show off is this reduced pattern bumblebee that I made. You can see that there's not a lot of alien heads on it, and I really like that. This came from a unique female that I bred my bumblebee to that kind of produced this reduced pattern going on. You can tell as far as it gets more towards the tail, there's absolutely no alien heads whatsoever. The next one that I want to show you is one of the more kind of hidden genes off of another unique normal female that I'm working with. I call it the blushback trait. She's kind of got a sporadic pattern going on in this one, but I think that future breeding will prove more of this blushback thing going on. A lot of people like to call it the blackback, but I think the blushback sounds pretty nice. And this one did this unique coloring out on the head. If you can see that, it almost looks like a flower on there, something like that. But alright, and the last thing that I want to show off is one of the female blonde Peter Lessers that I created. She's gorgeous. I love the way that this one came out. It's nice and bright. It has some unique pattern going on. It has that chain link also going on, and the blushback influence as well. She looks real nice. She just shed not too long ago. I love in the right kind of light you can see the blue in the eyes. It's I believe it's the lesser influence that's doing that. And you can also see that blotching of the tail. When I first hatched these out, I didn't know exactly what was going on, but that blotching on the tail there kind of gave it away that it wasn't a pewter, and it in fact also had that lesser. The last thing that I want to venture into is showing you guys that I'm getting into bows a little bit. I think they've been around for a while, but there's some interesting things that you can do with them, and I'm looking forward to it. This is my call female that I got. She's getting big, and she'll be breeding this year. I want to put a hypo het albino to her, and hopefully go for those sunglows. I think that those are really cool. When I first saw that morph, that was definitely one of the things that I really wanted to produce. And I'm excited to work with boas. I'm also venturing into carpet pythons as well, and although ball pythons is my specialty, I definitely want to get into some more stuff, and you can see why these are gorgeous animals. I love the boas. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I showed you some of the morphs that I produced, the blonde pewter lesser and the reduced pattern bee that I'm really fond of. I had a great time with Will tonight, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys.
Alright guys, so make sure you go check him out on Facebook under Platinum Morphs. Make sure you go like my Facebook page under facebook.com/Will Reptiles. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.